And a week later, using this and this, I get this. I'm surprised it took a week. I was expecting 13 days for this, 2 weeks easy. But you get the results that happen, and artwork always surprises you. So this started with me drawing Ozzy after he died, and I kept drawing him, and I'm still drawing musicians. There is a plan. There is a plan for a book on musicians, and there's a themed plan. So Chuck Berry, I've done Little Richard, I've done Phil Lynott, and let me just show you, it is real paper. There we go, real paper, look. Real paper. Real hand-drawn paper. Hand-drawn on paper. So, next up is Sam Cooke. Now this is the only album that I've got of Sam Cooke. I could possibly do with getting another one tomorrow, but at the moment I've just got this one album. And I'll admit that I didn't know many Sam Cooke songs. I knew Twisting the Night Away, and I know Cupid. I think I knew Having a Party, but I certainly knew Twisting the Night Away because it was on the soundtrack to Inner Space, and Rod Stewart sung it. Sadly, I knew that one more than this. But there is a theme. So this is where I am with Sam Cooke at the moment. That's after a day. And to do afro hair, I've got to do this. Little tight circles. You'll never get to this accurate, but you can resemble it. And you can pick out little highlight sections. This hair is going to take at least another day to work on. With skin tone for darker skin, it's just the same as doing Caucasian skin in shadow. You've got to shade a little bit deeper, you've got to get the glow in it. Now I want to draw women again. I like drawing women. But the path that I've chosen with this, or the one that's been thrust upon me, is I'm ending up drawing a lot of men. There's got to be women in this book, but I'm still trying to work out how to get them in, because you just think of some of the stuff that some of the music that was around back then. It was a lot of male singers. So, yeah, I grew up with my mum's music. Now, with my mum, she saw the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Jimi Hendrix. She saw a lot of major rock god acts. She saw the Kinks. Didn't see the Stones, but she saw the Beatles. And she said that she saw the Beatles. She didn't hear them because of the screaming. Now, we're in the same area. I'm in the family home. And the same area, but it's gone downhill. But back then, when my mum was a teenager in the 60s, she could get to see these bands through coaches. So there'd be coach trips, and there'd be a local coach service that would go to these bands, go to these shows. It was always local, but they'd play in certain areas in the local city sections. I haven't got that. So in my life I've only ever seen one major concert, and one concert that I managed to get tickets to, and the people that I went with, they weren't the greatest people. I ended up having to pay for a lengthy taxi fare because they wouldn't do it. Now that's where the problem is, because where I live, if you want to get out of the area, the fun happens over the horizon. The coach service that my mum used has died, along with a lot of other things. So, well, I live close to where Monsters of Rock happened, and I would have loved to have gone to that to watch rock acts when Monsters of Rock was happening. Couldn't make it. It's really just down the road. But there was no coach service, and no way to get there and no way to get back. And certain concerts now that would happen further afield, I could get there with a train, but by the time that the concert ends, I'm stuck in the city for the night, because there's no train into the area. And then from the train I'd have to get a taxi, and the taxi service wouldn't like picking me up at, say, about 12 o'clock midnight. It's one of those. So I've missed out on so many events and concerts. Conventions I can go to. Conventions are easy to go to because they finish at 5-6 o'clock. But we'll go back to Sam Cooke. So I mentioned about the Rod Stewart version of Twisting the Night Away. Now, one concert I went to, and let me just show you something here. I'll just move this. Here's the programme. So I went to this concert in '97, and it was for the princely sum of nothing. I got a free ticket. I knew somebody who worked at Carlsberg, and he had free tickets. He had free tickets, and I was the last one to be called. He just called me up one day, and look at the price, 25 quid for this. And he called me up and said, do you want to go to a concert? Yeah, of course I do. I was the last one on the call. If I didn't say yes, he would have just dumped the tickets. There you go with friendship. So it was one Saturday, I got a call out the blue and just said, what are you doing in 15 minutes? So this is the programme that I got. And there's John. And what happened was, this show was all about music through the years. And I'll show you the acts that I saw. Here we are. Mary J. Blige was on there. John Bon Jovi, just John. Tony Braxton. Shaka Khan. Now she blew 2 microphones with the power of her voice. And KD Lang was there. And just turn over, and Robert Palmer, and Seal, and Rod Stewart, Steve Winwood, and there were extras as well, extra groups. And he was a Japanese. I don't know much about him. And then we get the music directors and the tributes, and this was a little while before Princess Diana died in 1997. It was 16th of August. Well, what happened with Rod Stewart was we were up in the 6. We got the tickets. I got this programme. And the programme had to be put in the car. And we couldn't take it with us. We couldn't get any kind of bag or anything into the venue, obviously. So we're up at the top, right in the 6, and everybody would have been a little pinprick dot. And there were some cameras that went, started setting up some cameras. And they were interviewing for BBC. It was actually transmitted on BBC. An edited version, but it was transmitted on BBC. Almost live. And some of the local bands, some of the support acts had already played. I think the Bootleg Beatles had played. And suddenly there was a load of cameras, and they start interviewing Rod Stewart. And my mate said, my ex-mate, he said, that's not Rod Stewart, it's a lookalike. And I said, well, why would they employ a lookalike of Rod Stewart when he's playing at the concert? And it was Rod. And he got a ball and he was being interviewed. And when the camera switched off, he looked at us and said, what are you doing up here? These are our tickets. Come on, follow me. Come on, you're going down there. So he took us to the field. And we followed Rod Stewart down to the pitch. And we ended up about 5 spaces back from the stage. And my ears rung for ages. Because I was right near a speaker. So I was completely just near a speaker and my ears were ringing. I get tinnitus pretty bad now. But it's not through concerts, it's an inner ear thing. But he just got us to the stage, and then there was Rod was on the stage, and he said he started singing Maggie May, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and started dancing with me, and at the end of the dance she kissed, and then she kissed my cheek and then went away, and I'd never seen her again. She just disappeared into the crowd. Things that happen in concerts. But with Sam Cooke, let's go back to Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke, he died in 1964. He was shot. So when I draw people, I'm always wary and knowing of their history. It's not about me. These things are not about me. Yes, I draw them, but there's 2 people in a portrait. There's the artist and the person you draw, and the person you draw is more important than the one who does the drawing. So when I write about this, and I've got to get off Facebook, but when I write about this, I'm going to have to mention about what happened in the hotel room in 1964. And I don't like doing it, but it's part of the history. I mean, he only worked for 8 years. He really only had a career for 8 years, and then he died. And there's still rumours about the music industry and unanswered questions. Oh, got a bit of sun coming out. I may need to close the curtains, but I'll finish this first. So I've got an east-facing room at the moment. So yeah, that's the story. I've got to research a bit more about Sam Cooke and play some more music with him, and just get into his world. And the next one I'm going to metal it up a bit, because I am more of a rock metal fan. I respect the older generation and these people, but I grew up with glam rock and soul and disco and all the chart music from 1972 onwards, and whatever the charts are now, I don't care about them. But this is where I am at the moment, and now I will start playing some music. So see you on the next video when this has been done a little bit more. See ya.